Hello, Brave Awakened Ones. This is Veronica of Higher Realm Holistics, Lady V. Thank you, supporters, subscribers, and Patreons. Please share these videos with those who you think it might resonate with. If you're interested in any of my services, books, merch, t-shirts, webinars, sessions, and higher realm magic information and meditations, please visit higherrealmholistics.com. Good morning, Brave Awakened Ones. Lady V here. It is the 23rd. How are you? Everything's looking good on my side. Better. I slept on what could only be described as the ice blankets that we use after a patient has cardiac arrest. I slept on ice, but it feels real good. I feel so much better. So I wanted to dive in a little deeper into what's really going on because there's like several questions I keep seeing, people not understanding when it comes to the depolarization and repolarization of Earth's heart. Okay, they keep asking about the Great Flash. They keep asking about the pole shifts. I'm not going to repeat myself when I've already covered the pole shifts in several other videos for the past couple of weeks. Please go do your research. If I don't resonate with you, I simply don't resonate with you. Last night, I put out that video pretty late because it came to me late. Oh my God, I did not sleep for a good half hour after that, after it premiered, because of the nasty comments that came through. Very angry, which, I don't blame you for being upset and angry. But maybe for you, there's still time to turn around. I don't know what to say. You need to come to Jesus moment. That's all I got to say about that. And also my 144 video that I did, it was, I had death threats on that one. Okay. And I just want to really show you guys this real quick before we get into what more confirmation from last night's message that I received from the Q Collective. Okay, I've spoken about Q before. Back in 2019, I did a couple of videos. I even did a live stream. What the description I received and when I connected to the collective, what was going on. Last night's message was a bit of a shock to me. I was like, but I had to get it out. And it was a fantastic message for you guys who listened to it. It was great. It was wonderful confirmation. We have more confirmation this morning. A little wink. Let's put it that way. A big wink. So let me share this with you guys to show they're fighting. They're still fighting, but it's like getting toothpaste back into a tube. You can't do it. But as Q says, these people are stupid. They really are this dumb. They really are, because they're so blinded by the veil that they put over themselves. Okay. Now, as you could see, this is when it premiered, like 11:15 last night. Was approved, monetization on. Okay. And by the way, these other ones were demonetized. I wrote to YouTube and they remonetized it. This was also monetized. And then see, the algorithms find nothing wrong with it. Somebody has to go in manually and demonetize my stuff, because it's like almost all my videos got demonetized in one shot a few months ago, and I had to write and then they were remonetized. It was crazy. And then this is about the 144 Brides of Christ. I wrote about it because it was monetized, then it was demonetized, and then I wrote about it and I got this back. After manual review of your video, we've confirmed that it isn't suitable for all advertisers. Whatever, okay. And now when I refreshed my screen, look, demonetized. So, they're going to keep playing these games. See, demonetized. They were all monetized and they demonetized them. These got remonetized. But it's these games that they're playing because they're fighting to delay their demise. That's all it is. They're just delaying their demise. Okay. Again, if this doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you. But just know that the confirmation I received and many of you received is that we've made it to the highest probable timeline. And I know a lot of people saying, well, then, oh, then this person must have been lying and that person must have been lying. No, don't see it that way, that they were lying or anything. Use their discernment and also understand, and I had explained this again in previous videos, there were many probable timelines. They were trying to do the World War III timeline. They were trying to do the 180 pole shift timeline. Okay. And I explained what the pole shift really is. It's about the deposition, reposition of Earth's heart, which we accomplish, which, Q congratulated us on for helping along because, as Team V, as light workers, we're not the only ones who are doing this. We did it in the ethereal, which had to be done. We were the ones working in 4D, grounding in that higher energy. Now I'm going to explain it in a more scientific way so you guys can understand better. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. But of course, this morning, here's the wink we got. 17 is the Schumann resonance for today, and it hit at 17. Ha! Great wink, major wink, and they even noticed. Disclosure news, they even noticed. Okay. Power 17 at 17 chart local time, 10 UTC time. There's your big wink from Q Collective. Okay. And remember, Q had pointed out, told me to go here at 11:11 on my video that I made on January 6th to point out what was going on. I explained it. Specific that I want you guys to see and keep in mind the entire time that we're doing this and moving forward. This line right here. This is the baseline. This is the heartbeat of Earth. This, I just want a comparison real quick. So you guys know I'm in the medical field. Well, was. Okay. That's an 12 EKG strip. Now I'm going to take you into a closer look of that. Right? This is normal cardiac rhythm for a human. And this is called atrial fibrillation. Okay. It's an irregular heartbeat. It's a fast heartbeat. All right. And there's also, there's VFib and V-flutter. All right. It's the irregularities of the atrium. That's the upper chambers of the heart. I know I had it in order. Here we go. Okay. These are the atrium. Now, the way it was described to me is that the dark ones, they hijack the SA node, which is also known as the pacemaker of the heart, the pacer of the heart. This was basically hijacked off of Earth. Okay. And what we helped do was cardiovert the Earth. Let's explain what a cardioversion is. Okay. If your heart has an irregular, uneven beat, or is beating too fast, cardioversion is a way to restore a regular rhythm. Abnormal heartbeats, abnormal rhythms are called arrhythmias. I worked in the heart lab, do my little overtime hours, and this is what we did in the heart lab. We did cardioversions, all right? There are two types of cardioversions. One is chemical, the other one is electrical cardioversion. Literally slap the paddles on you. I do the sedation and prep the patient and pick the joules, which is the level electricity, the jolts. Okay. I do that. And then the doctor says, he or she scopes the patient to make sure, do a scope, put the scope down the patient's throat to look behind the heart, look around the heart to make sure there are no clots, because these irregular rhythms, they tend to form clots, blood clots. If there are blood clots, we cannot cardiovert. because then you'll loosen up the blood clot and then you'll have big trouble. It can cause a person to have a heart attack. Okay? So you check, no blood clots, cardiovert. And hopefully you shock them and they go back into a regular rhythm, a good rhythm, a healthy rhythm. Okay? Now, I've had patients that were rolled in waiting while I'm prepping them and putting everything on them. The first time I ever did it, I was like, what? And that was in 2017, the first time I ever cardioverted a patient. I've done several through channeling the energy. It was this 40-something-year-old woman, Hispanic lady, Cubana, and she was talking to her mom. All of a sudden, she developed an atrial fibrillation. This could happen out of nowhere, okay, an irregular heartbeat. So they brought her in to see if they could cardiovert her, okay? She was admitted. She was brought in because some is asymptomatic, some is symptomatic. She had some symptoms, short of breath, blah, blah, something like that. So I heard, you can do it. Cardiovert her. I'm like, the hell are you talking about? She was actually in the waiting area because I already had another patient waiting to be done already in the procedure room. So I'm just hooking her up and, prepping her. And I was like, how the heck am I going to card? And I was shown. I felt the energy coming through me. And I felt like my hands were like electrified. I was like, okay. So I'm putting the electrodes on her to monitor her. And she's still on the phone with her mom, blah, 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 blah. And I'm putting it on. And then I was like, then I just closed my eyes real quick. She wasn't paying attention. And then I allowed the energy to go through me. And then she went, she was on the phone with mom. She goes, did you just do the procedure? What was that? I was like, I don't know. And I looked, and you can't go flatline real quick. So you see flatline real quick, and then beep, beep, she went into normal cardiac rhythm. I was like, shit. And she looked up, and she was like, is that normal? I was like, yeah, your regular cardiac rhythm now, your sinus. And she's like, oh my God, Mom, I don't know what the nurse just did, but I'm normal now. Do I get to go home? I was like, well, I'll call the doc and we'll see. Doc came over. He's like, what'd you do? I was like, I didn't do anything. I don't know. And he looked at me. He's like, well, she's good now. He checked her out. Yeah, I guess she could go back to the floor and be discharged. That was it. I did it about 5 times. And 3 of the times with this one cardiologist, he's like, you're going to cause me to lose all my clients. What's going on here? Are you shocking them before you bring them in? And I said, something like that. I think he caught on because he got real nasty with me after that, to the point where I had to actually report him, and he was written up, almost fired. I mean, like, we went at it right over a patient. That's how bad it was. I mean, he did something highly bad before I sedated the patient, and it could have caused a lot of harm, and it would have been pinned on me, because then he tried to say, oh, I thought I said it, but she didn't do it. She didn't do any time with it. It was a mess. He almost got fired, and he's one of the top cardiologists, but no. The patient backed me up, thank God. Any which ways, but yeah, I was able to cardivert some patients, shock them on my own. So what we did was we served as the actual like paddles and the wires. Let me see. Can I pull up AED? Yes, I will pull up an AED. Show you guys what AED looks like. This is a simple AED, not the ones you find in the hospital, right? See, this is an AED. We basically served as this. Like, this is the electrical current that the ascension, the awakening and ascension energies. This produced the joules, the electrical current, and we served like as the paddles. Let's put it that way. We served as the paddles and the wires that allowed that current to come through and shock and jolt Earth's heart. Now, look at this. Does this look familiar? This is heart's EKG. They did a fantastic job mapping it out. See? Just like ours. See? That's heart's EKG. That's Earth's EKG. And notice down here, by the 17 mark that we've been talking about, this is the ethereal, remember, look how, this is the irregular rhythm, right? And down here is when the rhythm is regular. Pass right at the 17 mark. Okay? How awesome is that? That's not a cute capture at all. Alrighty. So that's, yep, we hit on everything. So we reset the SA node. We set free the SA node, we reset the heart. And what happens is it's like, oh God, it's so much more complicated to explain. The depolarization and repolarization happened, okay? So that was the polar shift, okay? And here's the evidence. The evidence is right here. The evidence is right here. The evidence is all the videos that I made and everyone else who's following the Schumann, you know. Come on now. Hello, Brave. Okay, the evidence is right here, Here's the evidence. And here's the current coming through. This is from last night's video. Okay, so I'm not going to replay it. Go watch it. This was the Q team sending in those currents. We as the light workers served as the paddles, right? It went through us into the heart of Gaia, and here's the reset. Here is the reset. Okay, so I hope that clears it up for some folks. Again, the rudimentary questions, what is Q? What is a pole shift? What is this? What? Do your research, for goodness sakes, do your research. I will not be answering those questions. Look it up. I have nearly almost 500 videos I have, okay? There's plenty of other people out there. If I don't resonate with you or you want different information, put it all together yourself. That's the only way you're going to learn, because we all learn differently, okay, at different speeds. So look it up. Don't sit there waiting for everybody to answer every question you have without you doing the work. You want everything brought to you. No, that's spiritual immaturity, okay? I literally know 12-year-olds who actually do the work. You know, if you're above 12, you know, you could do the work. You could do your research. The research matters. All right. So this is cool. We got this. Lady V out. And yay team. By the way, this week, so much stuff is going to be coming out this week. Start February 1st, really great things. There are, you know, Trump already disclosed, you know, and then it came out in the news that, you know, they sort of happened to come upon the cure for cancer. And I asked about that because I was asking about a lot of things that was disclosed for me that's going to be coming through this first quarter of this year. And I was told that the same way that the reason why things have to come about for me in a certain way is the same reason why things have to be disclosed and come about to the collective in a certain way. Because if they just came out and said, yeah, guess what? The cure for cancer has been hidden from you for a really long time. Man, shit would just blow up. People will go bananas if they knew you know, the cure for cancer, the cure for AIDS, the cure for this, all of that has been hidden by the so-called elite. Like I said, I can't stand that word because ain't nothing elite about them. It's the complete opposite. They are the void of light. So how is that elite? Um, but you know, the cabal, all those, the Illuminati, deep state, blah blah, they're all one. The dark ones, the children of Babylon. So if we just came out and said that, you know, you got to be careful. It's like you do have to spoon feed. Um, it's like trying to tell the kids mom and dad's getting divorced, you know, or something like that. You just can't come out and say it. You have to be like, well, you know, and it's not your fault, and certain things happen, and this is a duh. You know, something as delicate as that. You just have to be delicate in the way you put it out there. You can't throw it out there in one shot. As much as those of us who awakened want that because we're sick of waiting because we've seen it since we're kids, the majority of us, we never brought into the BS. It's difficult. But then again, how do you explain something to a 2-year-old? Okay, you can't explain something to a 2-year-old the same way you explain it to a 25-year-old. Absolutely not. They just it won't comprehend. You know, you'll put their little brains into shock. Okay, so try to be patient on that end. Okay, Lady V out. Talk to you guys later. Bye.